welcome back to Scotch Hour. This is Noah.
And this is Jesse.
All right, Jesse. So another week has gone by, so it's another Scotch Hour. And what's the beautiful lady on the menu for tonight?
Today we are going to taste and enjoy the Ardbeg 5-year-old Wee Beastie, an Ely Scotch aged in both bourbon and sherry casks.
All right, so we got this little video here, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll play that, and let's see here. We need to turn that on and.
Beware, there's something big and smoky out there. On the remote island of Isla, a scientist attempts what no one has dared before, to create the rawest, smokiest whiskey the world has ever seen.
I don't know, this commercial makes me a little bit excited.
They're meddling with forces we don't understand.
From beneath the peat bogs it came. It's 5 and it's alive. Its raw, smoky power has been unleashed. They've created a monster.
Extra! Get the latest news!
That is raw, smoky, and mightily intense.
The hunter becomes the hunted. Ardbeg Wee Beastie. It's out there.
Absolutely well done, Ardbeg. Well, let's unwrap this and pop this cork and give it a whirl.
All right. So without knowing any of the notes here or anything like that, or trying it, just checking out the commercial here. What do you think so far?
The commercial's great. Enjoy the presentation with the bottle as well. Let's get you an ice cube going here. One
Okay.
rock.
Nice. At least you made it into the cup this time, unlike last time.
All right, a pour for you.
Okay.
Got a nice light gold color.
The color is pretty nice. It's not like too heavy. It's got a nice gold color to it.
Oh, she's smoky.
She is smoky, but there is a little bit of like a floral or some kind of like I don't know, there's something right behind that smoke.
I'm getting a sweet sense of peat, which is absolutely important to me for a wonderful.
Maybe that's what it is.
All right, let's give her a taste.
Not just joking. So that was for you, John Waller, if you're out there listening. Smooth. It's actually not too bad. It is heavy on smoke. Very campfire-y.
Yeah, definitely heavy on the smoke. Got a kick at the front, which I'm enjoying. Wasn't quite prepared for that.
No, it does have you could tell it's young though, because it does finish a little hot. It's like definitely hot in the back end.
Very, very hot. And also a little more mild to finish than I typically would care for. A few weeks ago, we had the 10-year, much smoother, still a good smoky flavor. Not this kick, but a much stronger finish.
Now, what's the price point on this one?
Oh, this is right around $55 a bottle. So almost the same as the 10-year.
Isn't the 10-year like 60?
Yeah.
So we're only talking like $5 difference for 5 more years.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I'm gonna say if you want like something for like maybe Halloween and stuff like that, the Wee Beastie and all that, I think with how the commercial plays out and like the design of the bottle and like the coloring makes it for a good maybe like Halloween type of scotch.
Absolutely.
But other than that,
leaves me a little wanting.
Yeah, leaves me wanting. I'd probably just spend the extra $5 for the extra 5 years and go to 10-year.
I agree. But hey, we still got most of an hour to continue enjoying this scotch and see how our tastes may change. The commercial was great, kind of a tie-in to our young Frankenstein.
As promised, because someone did leave us a comment. We said we would talk about young Frankenstein.
Absolutely.
Is it young Frankenstein?
I think it is Young Frankenstein, but man, you watch the movie and Gene Wilder does a great job convincing you otherwise.
All right, so let's check out this clip here real quick from there. All right, so just kind of touch base on the young Frankenstein, or however you want to pronounce it. Gene Wilder, he's teaching at a college. People are asking him about his grandfather, Frankenstein, and he absolutely hates his grandfather. And then some guy comes up to him and tells him that his grandfather passed away, right? And he basically inherits the Frankenstein castle. So he goes to is it Transylvania?
It is.
Okay, so he goes to Transylvania, goes to the castle. He builds his Frankenstein, and we'll talk about Frankenstein here in a moment here, and what's wrong with Frankenstein if you've never seen this movie. But in any case, Frankenstein is now at this old cottage with this priest. Okay, so that's kind of like where we're at here with this clip.
A visitor is all I ask. A temporary companion to help me pass
A
few
visitor is
short
all he's
hours
gonna
in
get.
my own- Thank you, Lord. Thank you. Oh, no, don't speak. Don't speak. Don't say a word. Oh, my joy and my prize from heaven. Oh, you must have been the tallest one in your class. My name is Harold, and I live here all alone. What is your name? I didn't get that. No. Oh, forgive me. I didn't realize you were mute. You see how heaven plans. Me, a poor blind man, and you, a mute. An incredibly big mute. But your hand is frozen, my child. How does a nice bowl of soup sound to you, huh? Yes, well, I know what it means to be cold and hungry. Yes, and how much it means to have a little kindness from a stranger. Are you ready for your soup? Hold out your bowl, then. Oh, my friend, you don't know what your visit means to me. How long I've waited for the pleasure of another human being. And sometimes in our worldly manners, we tend to forget the simple pleasures. The basis of true happiness. Yes. Oh. And now, a little wine with your soup, huh? A little wine.
I'm not sure he had any soup to begin with.
Yeah.
Good. Yes, sir. Wait. A toast. A toast to, yes, long friendship. How hungry you must have been. Now, for a little surprise. For a special occasion I've been saving. Cigars. Take one.
No, that's what we need is some cigars.
You got him.
Fire is good. Fire is good. Yes, fire is our friend. Yes. I'll show you. I'll show you. You see? Yeah. Do you have your cigar? Let me see. Let me see. Now. Just hold it right there. Don't inhale until the tip glows. Wait! Where are you going? I was going to make espresso.
I've never noticed this until we have our gear on and stuff. But that sounded like Gene Hackman.
It is Gene Hackman.
It is.
It is Gene Hackman. Yeah, you got Gene Wilder and Gene Hackman. Again, to remind everyone who hasn't seen this or has seen it might not remember, this is a Mel Brooks film. Very well done. Interesting. He chose black and white, 74, stick to the true Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, and to really, stay true to some little history. I heard a lot of the props in this movie were actually from the original Frankenstein as well.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, pretty interesting. Well done, Mel Brooks.
Sounds like you did some little bit of research on this movie.
I did, because I'm still trying to understand
why he would make this movie.
Yeah, why did Mel Brooks make this movie? And not that it's not great entertainment. It is. It starts opening with a very simple
werewolf.
Yeah, werewolf.
Werewolf.
In Transylvania. But man, it's great entertainment. Nonstop laughs, interesting. Mel Brooks always has an edge. And I don't know if this is any History of the World Part 1 for me, but it's definitely entertaining.
History of the World Part 1 was a hilarious movie. But we did say we talked about Young Frankenstein. I love the part where he first meets Igor.
Oh, yes.
Because Igor's like, you must be Dr. Frankenstein. He's like, it's pronounced Frankenstein. He's like, you must be Igor. He's like, it's pronounced Igor.
Giant eye looking at him. I like Igor as well, especially since his hump changes sides during the movie. I think that's well played as well. Very interesting is, also, talking about body parts and all the different parts he gets, and then he just sends Igor to do one simple task.
He had one job.
Yeah, you have one job. Get a brain.
Get
a good brain. And what does he do?
He breaks that brain. He drops the vat.
Yeah. And then he gets, let's see, the name on the brain is Abby. Abby
who?
Abby Normal.
So he puts an abnormal brain in Frankenstein, and there we go.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen this movie, I highly suggest you watch it. Or if you have, it'll be kind of nice to go revisit it. I believe it's on Hulu.
It is on Hulu right now.
And I watched it last night. I think actually you watched it last night.
I did watch it last night as well. Fresh
in the mind. It was definitely some good laughs. And that's one thing I could really appreciate about Mel Brooks movies. Like there's Spaceballs, Blazing Saddles, History of the World Part 1. I think, didn't he do The Producers?
I do not know.
I think that might be another one, but it seems like almost every movie that Mel Brooks does is nothing but fun and non-stop laughter.
That's true. The ending of this one, Noah and I were talking about briefly while we were eating dinner, and brought up the piece, the exchange, if you will, of quality.
That's smooth. That's smooth. Definitely smoky. Not smooth.
But we talked about the exchange that Frankenstein, at that point, he's happy to have his name back, Frankenstein, makes with the monster when he transfers a piece of himself into the monster, and then the monster is able to communicate with the village, and
and they no longer want to kill him.
yeah, he kind of buys his peace, if you will, at least a little semblance of peace. With that, though, what is it that Gene Wilder, that Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein, gets from the monster?
I think it actually brought balance to both of them. Like you had the monster who didn't really have a brain, and all he had was like pure animal instinct, right? So he just all he really cared about throughout the movie, and you kind of see it a little bit here with this scene with the priest, but then there's like a part with like a little girl and some other stuff, and it's all about him just reacting off of like pure instinct, right? Animal instincts. And Gene Wilder is like super intelligent, and he works off of intelligence. And I think what happens is that it at the end of the movie, it kind of brings balance back into intelligence versus the natural animal inside of humans. So that way it kind of gives out a normal balance, because at the end of the movie, when Dr. Frankenstein is with his new wife, which is Terry Garr, she's like, well, what did you get from the monster? And he's like, oh, and then you hear her like moan and stuff, right? So I think it kind of like it connected him to his animal side, whereas with the monster, it connected him to the intelligent side. And I think it kind of brought balance to both of them.
I think that's an interesting perspective. I actually agree on this one, because I think there is not so much a conflict between nature and nurture in this situation, but a coming together, a mutual adaptation that benefits them both. And even as I've grown up myself, one of the things I've really learned is you have to feed both the heart and the soul, the mind and the body. And this is something that is real. You know, it's important to not just be the best at one thing at work inside of a building, or even just great. You don't have to even be the best, but it's also important to get out, go for a hike, enjoy a little bit of nature, see those pieces. I know when I do that and I see a beautiful butterfly, it warms my heart, brings a smile to my face. Got some great pictures last summer. One actually flew right up onto my hand, onto my finger, giant. And it's just
Was it a
beautiful.
monarch?
It was. It's absolutely beautiful.
So as you were talking, I was about to say something. I totally spaced it out.
Now, I'll go on the flip side of the beautiful monarch butterfly and also talk about praying mantis. I love to see praying mantis in nature. Really appreciate when they help with my insect problem out back.
So this is what I wanted to bring up. And sorry, this is going to be kind of like a
tangent?
No, well, it could be a tangent. It could be a sidetrack tangent, but also going back to maybe like our second episode talking about millennials.
Yes.
Would you say that maybe a lot of things that we're seeing in today's time, like what we're seeing in our country right now, like I don't want to get too political here, right? This is not about being political, but would you say that maybe a lot of people might be too much in tune to emotions and animal instincts instead of like having balance between intelligence and their animal side?
That is an outstanding question. And I think there is a little piece of that, as we talked about. Oh, by the way, here's your trophy.
Oh, thank you for my participation trophy.
With that,
I thought this was my participation trophy.
I mean, it's going to be.
It's okay, but
yeah, you finish that.
I'll
go get the other trophy. But truly, I think there is a piece of that. This is where I'm going to take a little side street and actually say one of the things I've appreciated about many of the millennials that I have worked with, that I have had friendships with, is they've actually opened my eyes to the importance of that piece. Now, it can't be all of that. There has to be a mix. There has to be a blend. You can't be all emotion. You have to be able to drop that emotion at times and think with your head and not your heart, if you will. But it is very important to be able to enjoy beauty, whatever that beauty may be, to separate from, someone like myself who is very mathematical, who compartmentalizes almost everything, and breaking away and saying, we're going on a hike, don't know where, don't know why, but we're going to hit the road, park somewhere, and go for a hike.
I'm not saying that emotions are bad, but you got to have the analytical side. I think you have to have balance in life, both analytical and emotion, because if you just allow emotions to drive everything, I'll just say this for instance, right? Do we want everyone to have health care? Emotionally, yeah. I mean, who wants to tell grandma and grandpa that you can't have health care? Or do you want everybody to come to the United States so they can have a better life? Well, of course, I think everybody would want everyone else to have a better life. But when you start looking at the intelligence side or the analytical side, you just can't afford to do those things. You just like there's
some
not enough.
hurdles.
Yeah,
Definitely some hurdles.
yeah. There's like when you start looking at resources, how economies are built, um, laws, health. You don't know what these people are bringing over. If they have diseases or whatnot already. What kind of strain it's going to put on our economy. That type of stuff. I think you have to have balance. Yes, we should help out people and anything about it emotionally. That's a good right thing to do. But at the same time, we got to be smart about it.
Yeah, it's interesting because what's one of the first things to tell you when they're going through their flip chart on an airplane and you're getting ready to take off, and they're like, in the event we lose cabin pressure, masks will drop from the ceiling. Take yours and put yours on first before helping those around you. And I think that's actually a really good point for all the people who are working and still can't afford health care. And now they're supposed to divvy up for somebody else's as well. It's an interesting challenge. Definitely some political bloodshed if you get too deep into that conversation.
Yeah, and I didn't want us to go too deep into it. I just kind of as we were talking about intelligence versus the animal instinct, right? Or you could say analytical mind versus emotional. I just wanted to kind of like it. Just I had no plans of talking about that tonight, but as we were talking back and forth, and I was like, oh, this kind of brings up an interesting question.
Let's go back to your tangent, if you will, or revisiting the millennials. This is interesting because I'm not sure how many mentor or mentee relationships you've had with millennials. One thing I like to think is when I am mentoring, I'm also a mentee. I can learn just as much from this individual as they can learn from me, especially if my mind is open. And so, who's the monster and who's the doctor? Is it the millennials or is it the monster? And you could say either one, I think you could argue. You could say the monster is all emotion, but at the end of the day, the monster is just trying to survive. That's using his basic survival instinct. Still pretty animal.
I'm not gonna really venture on that one. I wasn't really trying to throw the millennials under the bus this time. I mean, obviously, I've had a few millennials that I've mentored. I think anytime you're a mentor or anytime you're a teacher, you also have to be a student. So I think in both cases, when you do mentor, not only can you learn from them, but they'll also learn from you. And I think there's that transfer of, if we will, relating it back to Young Frankenstein, there's that transfer of the intelligence to the animal and the animal to the intelligence, or monster in this case.
I agree. Great film. A lot of insight and a lot of opportunities.
And the one thing here too, I'm gonna definitely change topics here. I did love Young Frankenstein. I think it's a great movie. Once again, if you haven't seen it, watch it. If you have seen it, go revisit it. Enjoy some laughs. Especially because nowadays things have become a little bit too serious. But I'm going to change gears because we just saw the priest serving dinner to the monster, and that kind of brings up this right here.
Oh yeah.
Last week you talked about this Asian grill, Cherry Village, and we did indeed have dinner from there this week.
Yes.
And it was pretty bomb. That Mongolian beef, super good.
Many great dishes that I have experienced from them. Mongolian beef is by far my favorite. Love their egg rolls. Love their crab cheese wontons. Great thing, but that brings up one piece that we haven't finished after enjoying dinner, and that is the
dessert.
Oh yeah, the dessert. The fortune cookie.
The fortune cookie.
All right, I was always told and taught to let someone pick their fortune.
All right. So I'm picking my fortune. And unlike saying like I've heard like some people say like you have to add like in the bed to it or you don't share it with someone, I think we should share it.
All right, unless it's terrible and it tells you this is your last day, and then it's all yours, buddy.
All right. All right, so you set your sights high and enjoy striving for the best things in life. Boom. That actually, I feel like that goes with me.
That does. Personal achievement will be your key to happiness.
Nice. I would eat my cookie, but I'm going to wait till after the show because I don't want to hear crunching. I'm sure you guys don't want to hear crunching in the mic. So,
it's a great dinner.
Great dinner, yeah.
I've never been disappointed by Cherry Village. Thank you, Cherry Village.
Great
job.
Very much. Thank you, Cherry Village, for that wonderful meal. We don't, once again, no sponsorships, so we don't get anything out of it. Just thought we'd share where we had a nice, wonderful dinner. If you are in this area of the metropolitan area, I'd say definitely reach out to them. Also, where did you, once again, shameless plug for wherever you got it, but where did we get the Wee Beastie at?
This one I picked up from Davidson's Liquor here.
Okay.
In, I guess technically it's Centennial,
Okay.
that weird intersection of Parker and Arapahoe that has 3 different cities.
Yeah,
and,
that I don't know who designed that exit, but that's a terrible exit.
It is a terrible exit, but that is where I procured this mostly. That was my first destination this time because the last location we stopped at for last week's wonderful Scotch was out of it at the time.
Yeah, that's right. It was, huh?
Yeah.
They were. So, any case, shameless plugs to places that we get no benefits from. We don't get no sponsorships, nothing like that. But thank you, Davidson's.
Yes.
This week. Thank you. Was it Wine Spirits?
Total Wine.
Total Wine. Thank you. I don't know why I say thank you, Total Wine last week, and definitely thank you, Cherry Village this week.
Yes.
For dinner. All right. So talking about going now, I'm going to kind of go back to Young Frankenstein again, or Young Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
They add body parts, right?
Yeah.
And we talked about the abnormal brain.
Yes.
So this kind of has me wanting to talk about supplements.
Oh man. All right.
Okay, so
let's hear it. What are you trying to do? You trying to sell me some bone marrow this week?
No. But I do take bone broth. Actually, I take. So there's this. There's a website called Dr. Axe, or he has it's called Ancient Nutrients. And when I was in a car accident, it gave me a herniated disc, and so one of the things that they recommended was having bone broth. So I get a bone broth from him, which is actually pretty good quality. It's powder, it's chocolate, and I put it in my coffee, so it comes out being like a chocolate mocha type of thing almost.
Not bad.
Yeah. So, but that's not what I was going to talk about. But what I was going to talk about is recently, as in 3 days recently, I figured if we're going to be doing Scotch Hour every week, maybe I should start taking some supplements to fortify my kidneys and my liver. As we get older, right, and things don't work quite as well as they probably once did.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm good.
Well, in any case, I started taking this beet powder.
All right.
And
sounds. Actually, I love eating
beets.
I actually, particularly when they're either canned or jarred, I absolutely love that flavor. But I don't know about some powder, buddy.
Well, actually, I agree with you on the beets. There's a place when I lived in Salt Lake, a grocery store there called Harmon's. They actually had strings, so they made the beets into a string.
Yes.
And that was really good. I loved going there and getting beets that way. Never had any issues eating beets. But I also have this other beet extract that you put underneath your tongue.
All right.
So last 3 days,
Okay.
drinking this powder, using the beet extract, and today I had a bowel movement, and
Okay.
everything came out super red.
Dude.
And I was freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me?
So I can tell you what's wrong with you. Too much beet powder.
Exactly. So I started checking out, I do what anyone does nowadays when they see something wrong with them. They're
I have a pulse.
they're
WebMD?
yeah.
No, don't do it. No, don't do it.
Actually, it wasn't WebMD, but I did go onto the internet and like looked up I just looked like bowel movements and beats
Oh no.
because I figured like it had to do with the beats, and they said like somewhere between 12 to 20% of the people will actually either have like red bowel movement or red urine from beets, and but it's like a kind of like it's not like a totally normal thing, and I think that's if like someone just eats a regular amount of beets, not like going overboard with beets. So I guess my lesson learned here: don't overdo the beets.
Don't overdo the beats.
Not unless you want to be surprised and think you have like a bloody stool.
Yeah, you want to freak out your significant other, make the movement and leave it as a present.
So sorry, I didn't even really talk about bowel movements on our show today, but I thought that was quite an interesting experience today.
It is. I'm going to backtrack just for a second.
Oh, okay,
here.
go ahead.
And so tell me about, because I've met and know several people who use this bone broth that you mentioned. Now, what are all the benefits?
Well, the one that I have is, let's see, it's bone broth and collagen.
Okay. Collagen is good for skin, hair, nails?
Correct.
All right.
And gut.
And gut. Well, I can't see your gut, but your nails look pretty good. Your hair doesn't
whatever.
look bad. So your skin's glowing. Maybe I need some collagen.
Let's see if I can pull it up here.
While you're pulling that up, let's think about this next movie we're going to go venture and experience. Godzilla versus Kong. That's a guy who's got a lot of collagen, man. You've seen him. Some wicked nails. Body covered with hair.
Okay. This might be like the vanilla version.
Is that like Vanilla Ice?
Ice, baby.
Why'd
Why'd you drop that zero and come hero?
That's actually a great movie.
Well, this would be the website, and if the picture ever decided to pop up,
That's
you
a
would see
great picture.
I know, right?
It's in living color.
In living color. Another old TV show for you youngins who don't know what we're talking about.
Just all you need to know is Jim Carrey. All right, Marlon Wayans, Damon Wayans.
Anyways, so your bone broth collagen. Here we go. So this is one I get, is the chocolate. And once again, I guess you click on it and it just doesn't show you the picture.
All right.
But anyways, you can see it right here. It's supposed to help you out with your joints, your nails, your hair. They say leaky gut, and some other stuff. But anyways, it has collagen. Bone broth is supposed to be good for you anyway. It's supposed to help you. Guess like back in the ancient days, they used to use like all the parts of an animal when they killed it. So, and then they get the marrow from the bones and stuff like that, which is something you don't really see too much anymore.
Thank goodness.
But you didn't like?
Are you talking about the Aztecs here, or
no? Like I don't know if you remember this, but like as a kid, like you get a big steak in there that had that bone right there and has the marrow inside of it.
Yes,
I love that. That was like one of my favorite parts of the steak.
Veal ossobuco. Yes, you can still get it. Pretty pricey. I think cooking becomes the most difficult part. Speaking of my all-time favorite Italian restaurant again, Il Mulino, best veal ossobuco I've ever had. Divine.
You like eating baby cows? Shame on you.
I mean, they're not that small when they're born, so what's a baby? Potato.
Whatever. I like veal.
All right, so do I.
Yeah, I have no problems with
Veal marsala. Yeah, it's definitely a rabbit hole we could go down.
Do you like lamb?
Oh my goodness, I love lamb. I love
I didn't know I'd hit a jackpot.
Oh
here.
man, no, I love lamb. Went to Elway's.
Okay.
kind of in between Denver shutting down for COVID and opening up partially and then shutting back down. So in Colorado cities, of course, different in each city. And Denver had some pretty strict closures at one point. And so Elway's completely closed down and then they reopened up for limited seating. Visited them. I'm a huge fan. So I definitely wanted to continue and will continue being a patron. They have amazing food. Some of my favorite food. Everything.
Yeah, I still likes the lamb, guys.
Oh yeah, everything from burgers and calamari straight to lamb. Now went there and enjoyed some lamb that was to die for. It was absolutely amazing. So yes, Elway's has some lamb on their menu. Definitely worth it.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you about lamb vindaloo, but do you like Indian food? Like Indian curry type stuff?
I don't have anything against Indian food, but it is not normally what I seek out.
Oh, you're missing out, man. Indian food is so good.
Well, maybe I just haven't been introduced to the right Indian food.
Could be. I haven't really found a restaurant here in Denver that I really like a lot yet. There's definitely a couple places I really enjoyed over in Salt Lake when I was living there. But I do think lamb vindaloo is actually a pretty decent dish.
All right. You find it, we'll try it.
Okay.
We'll share the
We'll
results.
do that. Or, if you want, I do believe I make a decent chicken tikka masala.
All right.
And that's, pretty nice, decent Indian food.
Okay.
So we could do that one time.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I'll give you the ingredients in that, and I
I'll
don't
pick
know
them
if we
up.
figure out our whole camera system thing. Maybe we can do some shots with of making dinner.
Yes, Noah and I each went out and procured cameras so that we can continue to elevate this experience for ourselves and for you. And now we just need to have to figure out how to use these wonderful machines. It was so much easier when I was a kid. Everything just made sense. So now
Everything is just point and click.
yeah, and now you have to use your phone to scan a barcode to pick up an instruction manual.
And they say they have Wi-Fi, so you can control it with your phone. I spent like an hour, still couldn't figure it out.
That's no bueno, man. Although, yeah, Wi-Fi. That's a story for a different day.
Oh, are we talking about like 5G?
No. I mean, that's definitely a story for a different day. I was just talking about the fact that I went almost 2 years without internet.
Oh, okay. I guess there's that story too.
Yeah. All right. So, young Frankenstein. Do you have a favorite scene from the movie?
I actually like a lot. I like the part where they're doing On the Ritz, or they're singing that song On the Ritz.
Yes.
That's like one of my favorite scenes.
I thought that was great. Man, that really is a good scene. I did enjoy the Gene Hackman scene with the priest.
Yeah, that one was good too. There was like, I think, if I remember correctly, didn't something happen with him, the little girl in the well?
Yes. Though, I mean, I think you just refreshed my memory from last night. I think that's probably one of, if not my favorite scene. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It was great. He sings better than I do. So kudos to him. Man, I start singing at work while we're working, and my team, they asked me what I did with the money my parents gave me to go take singing lessons. Good fun, though. I still sing. I just have people put in their earplugs or AirPods or earmuffs. Yeah, so good fun. All right.
Yeah.
You ready for a second tasting? I'm telling you what, it's smoothing up a little bit for me.
It's rough, man. It's almost like razor blades. It's smoky razor blades to me.
Smoky razor blades. All right. We got to do this. This is the gig. All right. Cube.
I guess it's getting a little bit better. But
That's
maybe.
what I thought. I'll eat that on my taste buds.
That's
as a
good.
burger.
Yeah, that's good. Once again, I think I would just go with pay the extra like $5-10, go with the 10-year.
It's good experience.
Oh, definitely good experience. I think that's what we're here for, right?
Yeah.
To try it out, talk about whatever.
It'll be fun to compare it one of these shows with the Ardbeg 10 and maybe a Lagavulin 16 and a Smokehead.
I don't know, man. That's like you're like also blowing those two out of the water.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna do it, maybe we should do a flight of the Ardbegs.
All right. That's fair.
You know, I think that'd be probably a better way of going through that.
Yeah.
Or you could do like because like Smokehead's supposed to be super smoky too, so maybe do a head to head with Smokehead.
Yeah, I've got several of the Smokehead, and the high voltage is definitely just that. It's got a nice bite, a kick just like this. And this, a few other notes on it. It is 47.4% alcohol. Good judge of any of that is if it's less than 51% alcohol, you know they've added some water. It usually a minimum of 51% and above for cask strength. So something to consider. Another thing about the 5 years and the casks is that it's been noted that there have been some variances with the different groups.
Did you say you have to like check the bottles?
Yeah. So if you find a great one, etched in the back is a date and a batch number. So if you get a great batch and you want more, check that, get it before
How do you know which one's a good batch?
I mean, you're going to have to drink a lot of it. Maybe somebody picks up the bottle and it's their favorite ever. That's always a possibility. I don't know that this would ever be one that I would keep, in stock all the time.
No.
But it's still,
you know what?
It's something for people
maybe,
to know.
Maybe keep it in stock for unwanted guests.
Or just guests that have already drinking their limit and, can't taste.
But still, I mean, even at that, why not pay the extra $5-10?
I will. Yeah, especially if I do like one of my summer parties like I did last summer. Your brother was there, Noah, and everyone who left got to take home a bottle of Talisker.
I didn't. I didn't get one.
You left without taking it. Your brother's like, I'm out. Bye, guys.
I thought you just offered it to him. I didn't know you offered one to everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have 6 bottles of Talisker up there for no reason.
Oh, I just thought you offered him one, but that's fine. It's okay. We're trying a bunch now.
Yeah, we're gonna keep enjoying these. So in the future, yes, absolutely a flight. Most likely, the majority of this bottle will still be there, and we'll join at that time. You know what though? This Scotch might be ideal for a medium to full-bodied cigar. Something to pair with that.
Yeah, well, when we get more into summertime, I think we've been discussing about maybe sitting out by the fire pit and enjoying a cigar with the Scotch.
Absolutely.
So
fun in the sun or the summer.
Oh. Yeah, gotta love summertime.
I do, especially in Colorado because you get hot during the day, and most evenings it actually really cools off nicely. It is one of my favorite. I mean, as much as I complain about the snow in Colorado and our mini blizzards, I really enjoy the changing seasons. I actually enjoy having to do all the yard work to plant flowers and take care of my grass, prepare it for each of the following seasons, and even winter when it turns brown, and everything's brown in Colorado except for the white snow. So, yeah, we're going to have some fun with that, undoubtedly. I'm going to make you plant some flowers with me. We're going to...
man, I don't know about that.
Oh, it's so easy. It's worth it, man. Look at what you get paid. It's some light gold, if you will.
All right. Maybe I'll help you out. I'll definitely tell you what, when I moved to Las Vegas,
yeah,
and I lived there for a little bit, I enjoyed the fact that there was no snow that winter. However, I realized me living in Vegas, probably not the best thing.
I can imagine there's lots of reasons for that. Fragile economy, especially right now, I actually feel I feel a lot for the people impacted there. I've vacationed and visited there twice during COVID, and both times it was very different.
I never even went to the Strip anyways when I lived out there. Everything I did was outside of the Strip.
Yeah.
But that's because I was slinging insurance at that time as an independent representative. So it wasn't really like I was self-employed. So it was kind of fun, but when you're making about $5 to $6 grand a month, and you're a single guy, no family, you can find yourself. You can find a lot of trouble out there.
I'm sure you can. Let's discuss this. I want to ask our viewers here, our listeners, if you guys have a suggestion of a reasonably priced scotch, so something less than $500, please, a reasonably priced scotch that we should enjoy during our next couple of casts, please let us know, share that with us so we can enjoy that, and let you know how we feel about maybe one of your favorites.
I like that idea. If anyone's out there listening to us and there is a scotch that you want us to try, definitely give it a toss out to us, and we'll in the comments area, and we'll be more than happy to give it a shot. And if you happen to become one of our Patreon subscribers, and we do take you up on your suggestion, we can even do a phone call and bring you in, so that way you can be part of the tasting notes with us.
Absolutely. That would be a lot of fun.
I think that'd be great.
That would be great. We've talked about bringing in some of our friends and associates, if you will, to enjoy some of our podcasts with us, to get their tastes as well, see what their opinions are, particularly during the summer. Man, summer is just so much fun with friends outdoors. Indoors is not fun, but it's not the same.
No, it's definitely not the same indoors, but I can't wait to see what our system will look like set up when we go outdoors. I think it'll be a whole new experience for us.
It will be, and I'm looking forward to learning about that.
This whole thing's been a learning experience.
Every day.
Total crash course. Total crash course.
All right. Should we do a book or a movie for our next podcast?
Well, considering I didn't read the book, Hamlet, so whatever your challenge was, I failed miserably. Once again, so that's 2 weeks in a row I failed miserably on our smarter challenges, which I loved how I altered that in the last podcast.
Well done. Well done.
Did you end up reading Hamlet?
So I did not. I failed my own challenge, but I know it pretty well. And
so why did you want everyone to read Hamlet?
It is a book, particularly, at least for me as a male, that I can relate to very well. And then knowing the history and having had great friends that I've shared that book with in the past, my significant other, as a matter of fact, taught me so much about Shakespeare and the histories that go into it. And one of the first things that I was embarrassed that she taught me was that Hamlet was potentially a character based loosely, if you will, on Shakespeare's son, Hamlet, who died very young. Things were different back then. And he fell ill and did not make it. But there's so much history with Shakespeare and with this character that, I don't know about you, Noah, but yeah, Pressures as a male, not that everyone doesn't feel pressures, but for me, Pressures as a male absolutely changed when I became a parent. And
well, since I'm not a parent, I don't know that.
Right. Maybe we should have you read another Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet, right?
What, so I can kill myself after I don't get the woman I want?
Okay, let's.
Well, I guess he kind of gets the woman, but they both kill themselves, so whatever.
Yeah, let's not go there. Othello.
Most of his stuff's tragedies, right?
That is an absolute truth in life. Lots of tragedy. I read something recently where this gentleman wrote, and he said, I'm over the crazy, fire, hot love, and all I want is someone that I can love and trust and be loyal and honest to, and who's loyal and honest to me. And I think that is something that's interesting because it is, to your point, something very different than a lot of Shakespeare. It's all about this fiery lust where there's love, and that love or hunger, that drive, it isn't necessarily another person. It could be power. It could be a seat.
Didn't Patrick Stewart,
Stewart, man, that guy.
Oh
no, I know exactly who he is.
Didn't he do a version of Hamlet, a movie where it's like kind of like a World War II based?
I don't know about that.
Or was that Othello?
I really don't know if Patrick Stewart did that, but
How about
there are some
how
great
about this one?
versions
How
of it.
about Leonardo DiCaprio's
Leonardo
version
DiCaprio of Romeo and Juliet was masterfully crafted. A wonderful piece of artwork. Maybe that's what we need to do is as opposed to overcommitting to reading one of these plays, we just need to watch Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio.
I mean, that was a great movie.
It still is.
I love how they use like firearms as their swords.
Yes, and yeah, it is masterfully done. How about Macbeth? There's another good one for you.
Actually, I think it might have been Macbeth. Sorry.
There you go.
Let's see here. Let me see. I'm pulling out Patrick Stewart and Shakespeare roles.
Who's done, and I did not get to enjoy it, but I heard did one of the most wonderful jobs with a Shakespeare role ever was Benedict Cumberbatch at the Globe Theater.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Isn't he Doctor Strange?
Yeah, he is. He's also Sherlock, BBC, buddy.
I've never seen that.
What? You're kidding, right?
No,
You're
never.
pulling my leg. You've really never seen any of the Sherlocks?
It is Macbeth.
Okay, there you go.
So
that was just a guess based on who he was. That makes sense to me. He would probably do a great job.
If you haven't seen that movie, that's actually a really good movie.
2010. I will absolutely check that out. Some of the best Shakespeare I've seen were pretty wild adaptations here in Denver at our wonderful art centers.
DCPA?
See what?
DCPA?
Ah, yes, Denver Center for Performing Arts. Saw an adaptation of Macbeth that was fantastic, and I'll never forget.
If they open up DCPA, I would love to go check out a show again.
Oh, heck yeah.
It's been a long time.
I'm in.
Before I moved out of Colorado, since last time I've been there.
Yeah, the last time I was down there, I was watching Dane Cook.
Dane Cook?
Yeah, I know. So this guy, most of these comedians, and Chappelle, I love you, man, but when you came back, it was a different Chappelle. Dane Cook, though, came back, and he performed live here, and the guy still has it, or at least he did 2 years ago before COVID. But, man, it was amazing. He was hilarious. He was honest.
Have you ever seen Andrew Dice Clay?
Oh, man, I have only seen him on TV. He definitely struggles to keep it clean, let's just say. Not something you bring your under 21 crew.
I actually saw him in Vegas. That was awesome.
I believe you. I believe you. Definitely probably a 21 or over show, or at least 18, NC-17 type of thing.
I'm not even sure what the age was. Like I was pretty buzzed by the time I went.
Oh, man. I'm sure it was good, though.
It was hilarious. Yeah.
Guy's dirty.
Hickory dickory dock.
Yeah. I know who else is hilarious is Cat Williams.
I didn't go there. I didn't finish the nursery rhyme.
Thank goodness. We're going to leave that one alone.
Little Bo Peep.
Hey.
Hey, in the story. Edgy Dice Clay. Edgy Dice Clay. He is a character.
He is. I think that's essential to the role. So I'm going to step back, though. Like, how have you not seen any of the Sherlocks with Cumberbatch and Martin? Like, they are amazing. You need to watch them. If you can't get good access, and you only have to watch one for me, it's season 2, episode 1. A scandal in Bulgaria. It is.
What's it on? Is it on Hulu?
I don't know. The second it was available on a hard media format, aka Blu-ray, I bought it.
Who buys discs anymore, dude?
Oh man, I still do.
You're old.
I didn't have the internet for
You're
2 years.
old.
It worked out.
You're old.
Nah, I got the internet again. My kids are keeping me young.
How long did they have to bug you to get internet?
No, this is a priceless story. It's a wonderful story, actually, because it cracked me up. So, my father, I want to say 6 months ago, had to get a faster modem and router for his home because he's got many kids in there.
He has like 50 people living with him?
Gamers, lots of gamers. Yeah, like 6 devices at a time.
All right, wait. How many of them are working age?
Oh, one probably. He's always on the computer. My 2 Actually, 3 nephews are often on the computer. My niece is often on the computer. My
Are
sister's
any of them
often
16
on
and
the
over?
computer. 2 of them.
Yeah, well, they need to be working.
I'm just saying, my dad went and did them this huge favor, got them this whiz bang.
Milton, if you're listening, Milton,
Dad, I love you.
you gotta pull that. You gotta throttle back that internet. Make them go out and get a job.
No. They he's doing his thing. That's part of what I was talking about, though, and that's a long, lengthy subject, not for tonight. Is how your roles changes from a father to a grandfather. Even I can only imagine. I'm not a grandfather, thank goodness.
Throttle that
Kids,
stuff
take
back.
your time. But. Really, he gave me his old modem and router, and I looked at this thing, and my kids were there at the time, and I remember, like, Mila even made a comment last week. She's like, "Yeah, I thought it was just weird that he was giving that to you." So I'd gone nearly 2 years without the internet, without any sort of Wi-Fi, and
Actually, to tell you the truth, I'm envious that you went 2 years without it, because that's probably the smartest thing you can do, especially with smart TV, smartphones, smart appliances and stuff.
yeah,
Because
I have them all.
the NSA can listen into you.
Well, they absolutely were. But now, for 2 years, I bought the Nest thermostat, and I couldn't even use my phone to change my temperature on my way home anymore. It was terrible. But with it,
Did you ever see the whole Nest thing? I think it was Nest that has the security system.
yeah,
too.
they're sweet.
Yeah, they're there's
Spy on you.
yeah, there's there's some freaking pervert guy or whatever, and some story I'm sure you can find it on the internet. It was last year or the year before, maybe a couple years ago, where the guy was sitting there checking out some couple's kid, little baby, through the monitors and the video and stuff like that. Creepy stuff, man.
It is, but it's also a tool that can be used for the right reasons. Going back to
With
this.
every advancement in technology, there is a dark evil. So evil it's evil underbelly.
All right, Frankenstein. So my kids.
Hey man, that's the axe murderer.
I know.
So evil it's evil.
I know, but we're going to finish the story hopefully
Sorry.
quickly with my kids.
Sorry.
Went 2 years without the internet, without Wi-Fi. My poor children. Oh man! And when I say children, I'm talking about currently a 16-year-old and a 14-year-old. And a couple of weeks ago, I'm driving home, and my daughter lets me know, "Hey, Dad, I really need the internet." And I'm just thinking, okay, so it can't be that big of a deal, right? What's the big deal? I'm like, all right, explain it to me. And she says, well, in these AP classes, and I've got other classes, and I've got tests that I have to take, and technology's changed. Now you have to have a live connection. I can't just use a hotspot off my phone or something else. And she's like, so I really need the internet. And I'm like, okay, all right. So it's, about 5:30 p.m. at this point. And I'm like, when do you need it? And she's like, well, I've got a test tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. And I'm like, all right, man. So let's see what we can do. And at first I was like, okay, not possible. She did have other plans. And there's always a way to find a connection, a Wi-Fi connection. But we got home. We had, as we do every Friday currently, delicious nachos, and we all pick out our own ice creams and a movie.
Where do you go?
We usually go to King Soopers, actually. Right down the road, we pick out our ice cream, a movie, Redbox, come home, kind of play it old school. I didn't have the internet. How else was I going to watch a movie that was new? Unless I bought it, dirt cheap from Redbox. So get the movie, get the ice cream, come home, eat dinner, eat the ice cream. We finished dinner, we're eating our ice cream, and I decided, okay, I need to do this. This is real. It's not about me anymore, trying to save $300 a month between cable, the internet, Netflix, Amazon Prime, and everything else. It was well over $300 a month that I saved by getting rid of all of those things. And I look online, I got this screaming deal, $20 a month from Xfinity. I go online, I subscribe. I want to say Xfinity, crazy to me how easy you made this. Thank you for that. So I subscribe.
I hate Xfinity.
I hear you. They made my life good. So I ran downstairs and I'm like, what are the chances? Is this modem and router that my dad got me actually going to work? So plugged it into the wall, the cable outlet there, plugged it into the power, and had just clicked subscribe for Xfinity for this crazy deal they had going on, and dirt cheap. Like for me, it was $20 a month. And at first there was nothing, and then again, it's all on the phone. It's all on my phone. It's an app that you can download, and it's testing. And they're like, "There's an issue." So I unplugged the router and modem, plugged it back in. 15 minutes later, my kids had internet. And the next morning, Mila was able to take her test, and it's
Mila taking
great.
a test, and Aiden like checking out things he probably shouldn't be.
I mean, he was definitely on his phone more than the previous weeks, but you know, it was just again,
How old is he?
you can hate Xfinity, but man, they made my life easy. And Dad, you're out there, you're an angel, you are a saint. That router modem, we talked about it. It was seamless how this whole thing worked. From start to finish within half an hour of my work, I got this whole thing done. I thought I was going to have to drive down to like Xfinity and rent a modem the next day or something. I had no idea.
I mean, for your kids, I'm glad it all worked out.
I mean,
For the NSA, I'm sure they're happy. Now they can listen to whatever you do.
so yeah, they're going to listen to how we feel about Wee Beastie 5-year Ardbeg.
Hey, man, I'm telling you, I am a tinfoil hat member.
I know you are.
I'm proud of it.
I know it's under the baseball cap. I saw you.
Yeah,
flashing it just
I think one of these, like when we do talk about aliens here,
Oh man, that's got to be epic. That's got to be like a road
we're
trip or
gonna,
a
you know,
cruise.
like we're gonna have to like make up some like homemade tinfoil hats or something to talk about aliens.
That's what
and
we've
stuff.
been doing for the last 10 years. That's not some stretch.
No, not at all. Okay, so we did hit our Scotch hour time. This is actually, I think we started having a lot of fun here and the tail end, but
Warming up.
yeah, warm it up. Okay, so any last words? Is it my smarter challenge this week?
Yeah, it's your smarter challenge.
My smarter challenge. All right, smarter challenge. Smarter challenges. Let's see here. What would be a good one? I think. What, you talking about shaving eyebrows? or
No,
something?
goodness, no. I've seen my best friend's girl, and I still have nightmares about that poor kid shaving and getting his eyebrows shaved off.
No. Okay, so I think a smarter challenge is to befriend somebody new this week
Befriend somebody new.
and report back on it.
Oof. All right.
Someone you don't know.
Okay.
No, it can't be like if you kind of know them. Like I don't mean like be friends, but you know, just like
Befriend.
be a friend, and
Start
it's got to
a-
be somebody you don't know. You don't know their name. You might have seen them around. That's fine. I don't care if
So
it's a cashier.
it can be at work.
Can be at work, but you
Okay.
can't know the person.
All right. Ah, man, that's easy.
Or it can be like, you know, or if you're out like at go to King Supers and you see the same cashier all the time or something, you know, just befriend them, you know, get their name, chat them up, make their day brighter.
All right. 1 week challenge. I can do that.
Yeah, just befriend someone, make them smile for the day.
All
Give
right.
them give them a compliment.
You got it. I can do
That's
that.
that's my smarter challenge.
All right.
All right. So how do you want to end the day?
Oh,
Or
you know-
end the hour?
You know what, Noah? Thank you for sharing this. You know, it is a very good scotch. It's just not wonderful. Thank you for sharing this good scotch with me. Again, kind of final notes. Light gold flavor, very smoky, hot. Definitely hot. You're tasting that alcohol. Light peat. I can taste peat. It's not as much peat as I would enjoy.
I prefer more peat.
Yeah, if it was going to have this kind of a kick. So again, to me, no Lagavulin here. And
Oh, it's only 5 years.
I mean, it is from Ile or Isle. You know, how is that pronounced?
I don't know, whatever.
I always say Ile, but I don't know that that's correct. So somebody out there, please send us a message to correct this. We enjoyed Young Frankenstein. Great movie. Thank you, viewers, for recommending and suggesting and asking for that. We had a kick. More Mel Brooks, I'm sure, to come in our future. For me, and I think Noah as well, the next venture might be Godzilla versus Kong. Quite curious to see how that'll go. But a great scotch. Not great scotch, a good scotch. You know, an interesting experience.
Great. So I think that's a good way for you. But the way I'll finish it off tonight here is say that it was a decent Scotch. I'm glad that we tried it out. I think for something like a holiday, like a Halloween, makes it an awesome Scotch. You're not gonna be able to write home about it, but it will do the trick. And actually, thank you for the wonderful. I think the dinner was wonderful. Thank you for the recommendation. The Scotch was decent, and for those of you out there, just a quick reminder as we wrap this up. Please leave in the comments a Scotch that you want us to try, and if you do become a Patreon of ours, if you want details about that, we'll put that in the notes. And if you put a recommendation in, we would love to have you call in and be a part of our tasting notes for like the first 5-10 minutes of our show, and just do a little bit of quick back and forth with that. I think that'd be a lot of fun. And with that, I'll say have a great week. And because this does drop Friday night, happy Easter.
Yeah, Good Friday.
Yeah, Good Friday. Well, it's not Friday right now, but definitely it would be Good Friday. Actually, it'll drop Thursday, so Thursday night right before Good Friday. But happy Easter. Hopefully you and your family have a wonderful holiday. If you're someone who believes in the resurrection and stuff like that, just remember what that's all about. Or if you believe in something else, have a wonderful holiday. That's all I gotta say.
All right.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.